Okay. We are here. We are here. First off, I want to welcome you guys to the show. This is Umbrella Entertainment's That's My Word podcast. I am your host, aka co-host, Uncle Will.
Lovely co-host. Lovely. Yes.
Very lovely. You know what I'm saying? And if he didn't say it, I know it already. I'm lovely. Dang it. Anyway, here's my man to my left, my red bone brother, Mr. Introduce yourself.
C to the right, as he calls me, or C right, you can call me. I'm good with that.
Yes.
Okay.
He's always good with that. And so, listen, I'm going to take these headphones off because, I'm kind of middle aged now and I tend to need my glasses. So, I'm going to get my wisdom on right now. So, here's my glasses. See, I went from Superman to Clark Kent. See what I'm saying? Anyway, so check it. Black History Month. We want to end this thing with a bang. So, before we go into that, I want to introduce you guys to a magnificent lady, okay? She has broken grounds, okay? And some of you may have heard of her, some of you may not have heard of her. But I'm going to back up and stop tooting that whistle a little bit. Let her toot her own horn. So please, introduce yourself to the masses, please.
Thank you, Uncle Will, for that lovely introduction. That put me on the spot. Hello, everybody. My name is Latanya Gator. I am a Dearborn Heights resident. I am currently on the Dearborn Heights District 7 School Board. I am the first African American woman to run and, thank the good Lord, win a seat on the school board. I also am a master's level child and family psychologist. I'm a mother of one. I am the chairperson of the Dearborn Heights Community Cultural Relations Commission, appointed by the late Mayor Dan Paletko, God rest his soul.
Yes.
And I am very, very, very happy to be here. Thanks, Charles. Thanks, Uncle Will.
Oh, well, no, thank you for being here.
Yes, we thank you.
Yes, so you said something that's very pertinent, that you are the first African-American black woman elected to the D7 school district. Now, as me doing, as you see, she tooted her horn herself real well here, right?
You started it.
She picked up on it real well.
Yes, she did. Yes, she
So,
did. Yes, she did.
as you see, I did a little background on some things. So I guess Dearborn Heights itself was, I guess, the concept where it came into play back in 1960 or something like that, I believe. I got that right? 1960. So my question to you, because I know back then it was a predominantly white area, and if I'm correct, it kind of still is somewhat.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Now I know it's more of a mixture.
More diverse.
Right.
Yeah.
Caucasian. Then you have the Arabic community as well as the Asian community as well as the African American.
Yes. Growing population.
Correct.
Growing.
So, did you grow up in Dearborn Heights?
I didn't. I am a Detroit native,
Mhm.
born and raised. To my proud mother and my grandmother. I'm a part of a very matriarchal family system. I attended Cass Tech.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Cass.
Okay.
Okay.
Why Cass Tech?
Oh, because it's the best, Charles.
Oh, wow. My son would say the same thing too.
Oh,
Okay.
he's a Cass Tech
Yes,
graduate?
he just graduated from Cass Tech
Yay,
himself.
see, you
Yeah,
guys
back
know?
in, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he's a Cass Techer too.
Yeah. So growing up in Detroit was very special, near and dear to me. I grew up at a time where there was a lot of like black pride being triculated into the school system. So very grateful to be a part of that. Grew up at a time in Detroit where the teachers really, really supported us, meaning you get out of line, they're on you, you stay in line, they promote you. They give you what you need with the resources they have to push you forward. So when the opportunity came to take the test for Cass, they knocked on my doorstep like, hey, Miss Gator, like Latanya needs to do whatever she can to prepare for this test because she's going to make it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have another small story about that.
Well, hey, let us hear
Please.
it.
So my mom, she tells this story to everybody. When I was little, she would take me past Cass on the Grand River side where the marching band would play. And she's like, you're going to go to that school. You're going to go to that school. And lo and behold, I really
All
did.
right.
And
You
I was
really
in the
did.
marching band. So
That's beautiful.
all credit to my mom and God.
And
There you
when
go.
you say that, your mom's, she had the premonition saying that you was gonna go to that school. I know she probably didn't have any inclination that one day you would actually go into history books. How was her emotions? I mean, how did she feel when you won your seat? Because you won what last year,
Yeah, November.
November the 3rd.
Correct.
Yeah, and before you answer that, you was part of an election that was kind of on a scandalous side,
was.
really, with the
Sure was.
presidential election and everything.
Yes.
But tell us how did your family respond to you getting elected?
That's a great question, Uncle Will. They were proud yet nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm.
I'm my mother's oldest child.
Okay.
I am a custodial mother, not a single mother, but custodial mother.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I just, handle most things. Handle most things.
Okay, go ahead.
And very proud. They've always thought that I would be a leader in something using my voice.
Okay.
But being in a predominantly white community and in a community that we are not natives of,
Right.
at a time where George Floyd was happening and all the police brutality was starting to brew up again, they were nervous for me.
Mm-hmm.
But we prayed about it, and it's like, Ma, you know I'm going to do this. You
Now,
know?
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Did you see now, because you did get elected, you're on the board, officially on the board and everything else, do you actually see a significant change now for this actually to happen, where there is actually some type of growth and change in Dearborn Heights?
That's a good question.
People in Dearborn Heights are embracing diversity. There's no other way to put it. From the lens of the school board, from the lens of the chairperson of the Diversity Commission, people are embracing diversity. And I think it happening in this strong of a wave, right? It's new for the city.
Right.
It's been diverse, right? But now people are feeling more empowered to step out, to speak, to start and get in city leadership, to get involved with the community. So it's being embraced, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Excellent.
So were you received well from the demographic once you was elected?
Luckily, I can say yeah.
Okay.
I've never gotten any kind of bad message or bad mail or any kind of weird stares. It was just like, you go, girl, and we want to support you, right?
So that stereotype, it seems like it's actually starting to change now. From as far as Dearborn Heights, whereas people would have thought coming into Dearborn Heights community, it would be very negative. You would get death threats. You, as you indicated, possible letters, but nothing, huh?
No,
So the culture is actually changing in a, would you say, in a positive direction?
definitely agree so. Even down to the signage that I've had around my house, because it was a hot election year, as you
Right,
mentioned, Will.
right.
So I would have the political signs of, like, speaking as an individual. Black Lives Matter, support this school board, support this candidate, support LGBTQ rights, support science. I mean, I'm at a corner house, so I lined my block up.
It's like
It was like another fence.
Right.
Never a bad anything. People would honk and say, go.
Uh-huh.
It was just really impressive. I would cut the grass sometimes, and people would ride by like, I'm so happy that you're here. Like, we love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. So it felt good.
So you would agree then it was Gator time.
Oh,
Look
yeah, I
at
love
that.
it. Gator time with a Gator girl. You
There you
got it. You got it.
There you
Trey.
go.
You
There
got
you
it.
go. There you
now,
go.
what platform did you run up under? Did you have a certain one?
I do. So as I mentioned, I'm a mental health therapist. So my baby that I am still growing, hopefully until the day I die, is mental health for all. Mental health support, mental health resources, mental health education. So I use that as a platform because I am experienced in it, and I never wanted to talk and jump out into something that I have no knowledge about. It's misleading to people.
Right.
So I use mental health, access to mental health services for kids, especially in a pandemic. I actually am a union chairperson as well for AFSCME Local 1640. So I'm very much union blooded and a part of the labor movement as well.
Union, baby.
So when it was time
Yes.
to support
Right.
anybody who's willing to support our children, whether it be the teachers unions, whether it be in state government, whether it be in local government, I just wanted to align myself with anybody who wanted to give fair education and resources to kids.
Now, you said that that platform was about mental health and that it was important to you in regards to your dealing with the kids. How would you say in the Dearborn Heights district area, how would this pandemic, how has it affected students that you've seen in relations to mental health?
Sure. So I can speak from two hats. I'll speak as an individual first. That when the government changes in power, you tend to see a swing in mental health dollars, public education dollars. So when we were led by a Republican Party, those dollars started to dry up and the resources started to dwindle. So then we get hit by a pandemic and people are more anxious, more depressed, dealing with grief and loss, dealing with fear. So it really trickled down into the kids because they rely on us to give them the support, the resources, the stability that they need.
Right.
So now that we're asking them to transition into virtual learning, they were scared. You know, my son is 8. He's a third grader. It's a critical year for him. I can see his anxiety every single day, but he relies on us and on me to give him that hope and motivation. And so I took that, looking at my own kid, being a mental health therapist, and said, hey, you know, D7, let's see what we can do about it because our kids are needing us more than ever.
Wow. Yeah, I listened to on social media. There was a process. I see someone that. What was that lady's name who put the forum together where everyone was asked a question and everybody else respond? Sadie.
Sadie Zimbowicz.
Say her name again.
Sadie Zimbowicz.
I'd like to say thank you very much because it allowed me to get to know each candidate a little bit better, those who were there, okay? You went on the mental health platform and you illustrated or expressed in regards to why it was important to play or be a big part of education. Could you explain a little bit about that?
Sure. So there was already a structure for mental health services within D7. But again, like I said, when the dollars start to dwindle, you really don't see it trickle down enough. And there is a stigma around mental health, right?
Yes, it is. I agree.
So you have to really step out on the limb and say, hey, this is something that could improve the quality of life for your child. When you put it in a unbiased, not political gain, truly from my heart to yours, I really want to help your kid exceed as much as they can. People bought it. They buy into it because it's the truth.
Yeah, I felt that. I felt that when you were saying it, and you were very sincere when you said it.
Thank you.
Now, going back to that stigma, do you see the stigma being more strong in certain ethnic backgrounds?
Well, speaking as an individual, the field of medicine, the field of mental health wasn't always positive or truthful to those in the community of colors. That's not just African Americans, it's for Arabs and the Hispanic population too. So that stigma is there, mainly across communities of color. The field of mental health was dominated by Caucasian white males for a very, 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 very long time. And I think what we're starting to see is that psychotropic medication or medications in general, they have so many side effects. They've torn our bodies down. And people want to go a more holistic approach so they can live longer and be more independent in how they heal.
Now, you said that as far as the monies wasn't trickling down based upon the party that was in charge. Now that we have a Democratic leader as a governor, but our Senate, our local, Senate government, there is ran by Republicans mainly, so are you seeing more funding now that we have a Democratic leader, or is it still the same because of the party that's running the local Senate?
That's a good question, Uncle Will. So again, Biden and his administration is so new that it's hard to say what they will do, but the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So in the past, the Democratic governments, they pump money into public education, mental health, everything that you need to thrive socially. And so we are hoping that we'll see those dollars trickle down again. I work at a community mental health center in Southwest Detroit, and it's a nonprofit. So with my union hat, I have to stay on top of follow the bottom line, follow the mental health dollars. And so we are hoping and we are getting in position to apply for those grants, to see what those grants are, to maybe lobby at Lansing, the local level, at the state level, even at the federal level, if I can get there, I'll definitely be the first person at the Capitol to say, hey, can we work together to get the funds back?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm hopeful, Uncle Will.
Okay. Fingers crossed, people.
so as far as state-wise, Michigan, okay, John England and his administration dealing with the, we'll say, mental health
Oh
funding.
my God! Now hold up. You went back.
Oh, well,
You went back,
and there's
John
a reason why I
England.
went back with that.
Okay.
There's a
I'm
key
just
reason.
saying because there's some people on here who don't know who the hell John
John
England is.
England is one of our former governors.
I thought you were going to say one of our forefathers. No, don't go that far. But go ahead.
You might want to have a DNA check. You
Oh.
might be. I don't know. Okay, but on my
Anyway.
side, I can say no.
Anyway.
Okay, so
got crazy.
to me, he caused a problem because he basically took the funding out for the statewise, but yet no governor since then corrected the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any aspirations or hope that in our next election, for whoever's running this time, that it will be on the table to? Go ahead.
Now, I just want to say before you answer that,
Go ahead.
how did he take it out? I mean, what you mean that it caused
Stopped
the problem?
They stopped the funding. They closed all, as far as mental health housing. Okay, they closed hospitals left and right on there.
Now, you and I both know some of this stuff, but
Right.
you got to also let the people know too about
Tell
the
them.
effect because
Tell them.
when he did it,
Mhm.
he closed those facilities. Where did those individuals have to go to get treatment?
You know what?
I mean, if you're gonna tell the story, you gotta tell the whole thing.
if you want to really go there, what happened was afterwards, from what I know of, based
Okay.
on the knowledge I know of, I've collected over the years and watching what's happened is basically a lot of them got turned to the street. A lot of them end up getting locked up.
Okay.
Okay. The funding wasn't there. Unfortunately, when they were getting, we'll say, you said psychotropic medication. Well, can we even go into psychotic medication?
Exactly.
They were getting what medication that was basically frying them.
Right.
We'll say outdated medication, but still allowed to give because
Right.
of cost.
That's right.
Okay. Now, in return, our society has been seeing, okay, the adverse effect because of that.
But a lot
okay?
of them also been misdiagnosed and being sent to prison systems and stuff like that, and a lot of them receiving that stuff in there too. So,
yeah.
but
Criminalized.
he asked you the question about you were saying about what her thinking on the new
Yeah, for
administration?
the next election we're going to have here
Yes.
for governor.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any personal feelings, okay, as you as an individual, not as you as a school board member, but
Right.
you as an individual, and hopes or aspirations that this is going to be mentioned?
So Governor Whitmer just
Mm-hmm.
put out a very nice comprehensive plan
Mm-hmm.
to get people out of poverty in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And in that comprehensive plan, mental health, medical health is a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I would assume that, yes, they are looking to get those funding dollars to be able to support that population. But that's her administration. So
Right.
you asked me, what about the next one? I don't know. If she and her cabinet work really hard to get it there and people start to see the benefit from it, I would hope the next administration doesn't knock it off.
Okay.
Yeah, I would hope. It's really hard to say though. But I think that if it works for the people and the people speak up, they can keep it. But everybody has to speak up for their needs and not necessarily wait on the government to give them what they need.
That's true. That's true.
That's deep.
She's deep. She's deep.
I mean, but she's keeping it real though. I
Yes,
mean,
uh-huh.
if you just sit back and you just wait because the Constitution says, "Well, we the people," and the thing is, we elect people to represent us and to try to support our needs, and not only our needs but our wants and everything. But in times like this, it seems like the needs need to be looked at even more because of what we're dealing with.
And
in
labeled
this
as
time.
a need.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. You said two things: taxation, and you also indicate as far as money. Okay, what is taxation without representation?
Right.
Okay, keep in mind those are our state and federal taxes, right? That means that is our money, but we need to again give more direction to our politicians to say, hey, this is what we really want. You may have your own agenda. Let's go back to the real agenda, what really needs to be
There
done.
you go.
Because we're becoming more and more divided as a country,
Absolutely.
and that is a problem. But let's get back to you,
Well said.
okay?
Carlos. Well
Instead
said.
of me going on to this and everything
Yeah,
else.
because
let's hear about your educational
Mr. X-File right here, he can go all out there.
And I don't want to recall history, times, dates, and everything else. But with you, let's hear about your educational background.
Yes,
Cool,
let's
cool.
hear see if you are a smart, intelligent lady.
Well, she's already presented that.
Yeah,
So I'll give her that.
hey,
I'll give her that.
presentation is
On
A1.
paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. On paper, she dynamite, as J.J. Walker would say.
Okay.
No, Chicago.
That's cool. Tell me. So again, as I said, I was born and raised in Detroit. We moved around a little bit.
Okay.
So I went to a handful of elementary schools, but the one that I landed at and got the most from was Fitzgerald Elementary School. It's on the west side of Detroit, the Puritan,
familiar with that,
Wyoming
yeah.
area. And then I went to Post Middle School.
Okay.
She rough then.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
I was thinking, you got a little
polished,
gangster to it. But go
so I
ahead.
made it through
Right.
Puritan.
Go ahead.
Passed the test to getting cast.
Okay.
Went to Tennessee State University,
All right.
HBCU in Nashville.
Another one of those. Hey, I know there's a lot of you out there loving that. Go ahead, girl.
I bleed blue and white. I bleed blue and
Go
white.
ahead.
So I graduated from Tennessee State with a minor in criminal justice and majored in general psychology. Came home, applied for a PhD program fresh out of undergrad. Didn't get accepted, so I went to work a little bit.
Right.
And then I applied for a master's program, so I got accepted to University of Detroit Mercy, their child and family psychology track. Graduated from there in 2012, and I've been working ever since.
Nice.
Dig it. So, I take these glasses off. I'm sorry.
Now I need glasses to be smart like you, Uncle Will. I don't have wisdom glasses, y'all.
Sometimes Uncle Will have to take the glasses off just so he can look when he get asked certain questions. So, are you single?
Why did you have to put her on the spot?
I'm just asking the woman if she's single.
She might be seeing somebody and
Okay.
right,
Okay. Well, all she got to say is
take the fifth if you want.
I plead.
Plead the fifth?
We're gonna allow some.
Do what
latitude,
Trump
okay?
do. You know.
Well, I am not married.
Okay, you're not married.
Okay,
Correct.
there you go.
Okay, there you
I
go.
am not married.
Now I asked that because you are an attractive woman,
Thank you.
and I'm pretty sure since you got elected, you know your street value done went up. Okay.
Puritan is talking.
Yeah. The streets are talking. You hear what I'm saying? So I
That's
know
great.
you get, a lot of different offers, and I know the significant other, let's just say, I know he got a lot of competition now, huh? Come on.
Gotta
Don't
bring him in and ask him.
Oh,
I
look
learned
at
a long time ago I'm not speaking for no man.
now see,
She's good.
if
speak
I
for
can
myself.
get some of you other women to listen to this, okay, this is why she made history. Okay? Why she made history.
Cannot speak for a man. So you can bring him on in and ask him, and I'll be right there.
She be right there.
Right there.
Yeah, that was good.
So, with your current position, where do you see yourself 5-10 years from now?
So as I said, mental health is my baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I still want to practice mental health. I do a little bit on the private
why do you have
practice
such
side as well.
special interest in mental health?
It's a great question. It really brings about a higher quality of life when your mental, emotional health is stable.
True.
And you can make decisions for yourself when you know who you are as a person, where you come from, and what you can do with it.
Okay.
So when you give people the tools to do that, they no longer have to be codependent
Okay.
on anyone. They can still be civic. They can still be diplomatic. They can still have a strong sense of community, collectivism, you name it. But in the event that that's not there, they can thrive.
Okay.
Now.
Hopefully that answered your question.
Well, it did, but what I want to do is I want to.
Get into the personal.
No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna offset you a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Normally we don't do this.
That's fine. I'm
but
ready.
with this, what I'd like you to do this time, look at that camera right
Okay.
there. And whoever you want to give a special thanks to within the Dearborn Heights community
I
or
like
outside, go ahead and do it.
I like that. So, going back to Charles's question, what made me get into mental health? So, I have a brother who was diagnosed with autism, maybe about my sophomore, junior year of high school. Because my goal was to be a NASCAR driver and an Air Force pilot.
Oh wow, dang!
That's really what I wanted to do.
First African American woman as a NASCAR driver. Okay.
Go ahead.
So when I realized that was just too risky and I wasn't that great in math to fly anybody's plane, When my brother was diagnosed with autism,
Right.
I had to get in position to help him, not just
Excellent.
allowing the systems to tell
Right.
us. I wanted to learn it from the inside out.
Right.
So that is what really encouraged me to get into mental health, to be able to help serve my brother and help him navigate through the system.
Right.
So I definitely want to thank him. His name is Marquise Gator. He
Okay.
graduated from D7.
All right.
Graduated with a high school diploma, not a certificate of completion.
All right.
So
All
I
right.
credit
Yes,
D7 for
yes,
that.
yes.
And my mom.
That's
So
yes.
as I said, my mom's name is Kathy. Sorry, Mom, don't beat me up because I'm putting you out there.
Please
She's
don't
not
beat
as
up.
outspoken as I am.
Okay. Okay.
And don't hurt us either.
She fights boys. And so definitely want to thank my mom, Kathy, my grandma, Maggie, my matriarchal support system. Because they really held me accountable to grow. And they didn't let me veer off even for a second.
Now
Yeah.
he cut off a question I asked you in regards to where do you see yourself though 5-10 years from now? Because
I tried to save you. I
the-
tried to
yeah,
save you.
I see what you try to do. I see what you try to do.
I tried to save you.
Because you done something that some other women came before you haven't been able to do. You cracked a system, and you became the first African American woman in Dearborn Heights, Michigan, to get in the position that you're in, and that is a large accomplishment. So, where do you see yourself? Like I said, 5-10 years from now, running for any other political positions, or what type of change you see in 5-10 years for Miss Latanya Gator?
Thank you. That's a good question. And I tried to deflect.
I know
'cause
you
it's
did.
a tough question.
I seen it.
But besides having my own mental health practice,
Mhm.
politics is tricky. And
So what you're saying
and you
is-
lose. I've learned
Right.
that you lose sight of the vision once you get really enmeshed in politics.
Damn.
So I'm vacillating between maybe running for, local state office
Right.
one day, or just keeping it local, keeping it grassroots, keeping it community, so I don't lose sight of my passion for community involvement.
Right.
So I see myself still at least being involved in the community,
Okay.
whatever community I'm in,
Okay.
to be able to create from where I stand, using whatever I have to grow and grow others if they want. But maybe something in government, but I'm just really not sure.
But
if
at
it's
this
for
point,
me,
you're not saying never is never, correct?
not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, if God blesses me with that direction, and if I have the support
Right.
of the people,
Oh, I'm
I'll
pretty
do
sure
it.
you're gonna have the support.
Now, you ran on a ticket,
I did.
okay?
I did.
Now, on that ticket, wasn't there another individual
That's
who
right.
made history too?
Yeah. So his name is Nathaniel Can.
Uh-huh.
He's the African American male, first ever to run and first ever to successfully be elected. So we sit
Gotta
on that
applaud you
school
too, my
board
man. Applaud you
together.
too, brother.
Yeah, we sit on that school board together, and I know he would like being here as well if you guys would invite him.
Oh
Okay.
yes. You know what? That invite is out there. If you would please come on to the show one day and give us a sense of your feeling being in that position and stuff too, because I'm pretty sure it's a lot of young minority males, not just black young men, but minority men that would love to know about your past and your background and get some insight on what you think. And so with that, I had to ask this question. We're in 2021. Okay, you were the first, and that young man was the first African American male. You the first African American female to be elected to such a position in Dearborn Heights, Michigan. You spoke up on. We had the incidents with the young black individuals being killed, George Floyd, and others. And then with the creation of Black Lives Matter and all this stuff. Do you see Black History Month as still being a relevant institution that was installed for African Americans? I mean, because black men are still worried about being pulled over in cars, walking down the street. I mean, it's a lot of, and you being in the field that you are in, there's a lot of mental stuff going on amongst us. So, do you still see this celebration of this month even being relevant anymore?
Absolutely, it's as relevant as we want it to be.
Why? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because so many others
Okay.
have accomplished so much and sacrificed so much
Okay.
for people like us to be here to do what we're doing today. In
Right.
terms of civil liberties, in terms of safety, in terms of justice, in terms of education, even all the way down to getting a loan at the bank for, real estate, right?
Okay.
Yes.
So we have to celebrate that. We have to continue to teach our youth to be able to access history, to know where you're going, and to understand, no disrespect to everybody who paved the way, but if it was new for them, they made some wrong decisions as well. So a part of history is learning to do it differently as you move forward. Right?
I got you.
So if you don't tap into that, if you don't celebrate that, if you don't research that, I think you're lost. And so if we don't celebrate Black History Month, those are in opposition to us celebrating Black History Month can make a strong argument that it's not needed. So I personally made a vow that I will never allow that to happen from me.
There you
Meaning I'm going to contribute in every way that I can to bring about pride and change.
And that's what I like when you said you're going to contribute, because in our generation, when we were coming up, when Black History Month did come about, they taught us about our history. And a lot of kids nowadays don't even know who Medgar Evers is.
Right.
They don't know Nat Turner. You know what I'm saying? Even Chisholm, the first African American woman to run for president.
Yep.
Shirley Chisholm. A lot of them don't even know that name. So that's why I asked you, being the woman in the position that you're in, that question. And your answer was very on point and astute. So I appreciate that.
Sure, no problem. And if you allow me to, I can expand on it a bit.
Please do.
Don't be
Please
shy
do.
about it.
Please
I
do.
think that we are driven to be very individualistic instead of collectivistic, like kind of like in a survival mode, if you will. So when you're trying to survive, you're just in the here and now. You're not really thinking about the past or the future. You're just trying to survive for the day.
Right.
So in the Black community, and I'm not here to represent everybody in the Black community, I'm just speaking generally, we lose sight of history because we're just trying to get bread and butter on the table. But of course, there's a drawback from that, because your children need to know where they come from to have a sense
There
of
you
pride and identity and core values.
There you go.
So it was a give and take a bit, but not judging anybody. I just understand the rationale behind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, wow, we've learned a lot from Miss Gator here.
She's deep.
Yeah, I mean,
She's
she
deep.
is.
She's deep.
And me and Charles, we have talked about trying to have someone to come in and talk about mental health, and to happen to run up on an accomplished woman such as yourself, that also made history. I
So
mean,
weird to hear that.
I mean, isn't it though?
Yeah,
I mean,
so weird.
think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, your son get on your nerves. Boy, I made history. You about to sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying?
Playing around in D7, boy.
You know what I'm saying? or your man come talk some mess. Fool, please. I made history. You better go on with that mess. How many women you know made
Wish
history?
I was brave enough
How many-
to throw that up.
Exactly. There you go.
right?
Yes. Yes.
But I mean, it says something, because actually, as a Black man, I feel proud to even be able to sit by you,
Thank you.
and I mean
feel
that
honored.
100%.
I feel
Thank you.
honored.
I really do.
Makes me want to cry. Thank
And
you.
you know, a lot of men probably wouldn't have the courage to say that, but a lot of people who watch the show, you guys know I am. I'm very transparent, and that's how I'm always going to be. I'm going to be straight up. And I'm telling you, to be able to sit here knowing that you crossed some boundaries and you done made it to something, I just wish I was there to see your mother's face, your family's face the night of, when you heard the news.
They were with me in the cold, and so was Charles.
Yes, I
They were
know.
on the boots helping me try to win that seat. So you wouldn't have had to,
And
they
I
was out
applaud
there
you
in the
too.
cold.
Yes.
Appreciate them, love them for that.
It's, to me, I look at it as a twofold process.
What's that?
Okay. You ran for office. You made it. The other gentleman, his name again?
Nathaniel can.
He ran. He got it.
He made it.
Daniel.
Okay?
Yep.
Both based off of your presentation, your character, and who you are. At the same time, I say it's a twofold process, because anybody could have ran, but your character spoke for itself. At the same time, showing a systemic cultural change has come in Dearborn Heights.
Right.
So Dearborn Heights has changed, and this is proof.
Yeah.
This is living proof.
Yep.
Change can happen. Culture can change. You live in proof.
That's right.
You and Nathaniel.
Change is good.
Yep.
Can't get away from it.
No, no, you can't get away from it. Don't even try
Try
to get away from it. Okay. Now, before we go, I want you guys to know that the question I asked her in regards to is Black History Month, is it still relevant? I want you to ask yourself that and come up with an answer for yourself. Ask your friends, your grandchildren, your best friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever. Ask them. Because this week, I'm going to be doing the spinoff, which is the That's My Word, Let Me Talk. Because you know Uncle Will love to talk. Okay?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You know, my wife's I got a big mouth, so who cares? I mean, she got my benefits, so she needs to be quiet. Always talking.
So you care.
Yeah. So I care. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? See that's that psychological thing right there. See what I'm saying? Woo, I gotta watch this one. But ask yourself that. And during the week, before Black History Month ends, I want you guys to utilize your social media platforms. Utilize them for this particular question right here. And ask yourself, what can you do? Because do we have to rely on our school systems to teach our kids about Shirley Chisholm? Is it really all their responsibility? Or does it fall back in the home? Am I at fault that my daughter don't know who, Nat Turner is?
Hell yeah. But anyway, keep going. I'm sorry, keep going.
I'm just saying, even though all my kids grown, thank God. But I'm just saying, because I learned years ago that kids not even writing cursive anymore, right? And that blew my mind years ago when I heard that. But when I asked some of my little great nephews and nieces, hey, huh? What? Yeah. It bugged the heck out of me because I remember being a little young kid and I had a nice bob cut white woman having me putting the staples up of the different African American, people that did things, inventors. We have a lot of inventors people don't know about, elevators and different stoplights. It's just so much out there that a lot of us don't know about. Right. And this is what the question I posed to you guys. So Tuesday, I will be back on live around 6 o'clock, and I'm going to talk more about it in detail, but I want you to chime in and let us know, what do you think about it?
And
Is Black History
Month
Month still relevant? Yeah, please, don't be shy.
What was the question you said again?
Is Black History Month still relevant?
Is it?
2021, is it relevant? So, before I sign off, let my man C to the right say a little something before we go.
Are you sure you want me to say something?
Please do.
Nathaniel, you're more than welcome to come to the show. Matter of fact, I'll be reaching out to you and invite you to the show personally. I'd like to thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Yes.
Okay, representing history, let alone for this month. Okay, Uncle Will, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. But again,
I wish my wife said that, but that's something else. So she be tripping.
But the last thing is, that's a good question that Uncle Will posed. Don't be shy. Think it over, and you answer that to yourself.
Answer to yourself, but also let us know too. Now, before we go, I want to let Miss Gator go ahead and end it off by, saying what you got to say to the people. Let them know how they can reach you if they have any questions. Because like I said, it's a lot of people out there that have some concerns or questions about mental health and everything too. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that's interested in your story. So we just let them know how they can reach you.
Sure. So again, thank you, Uncle Will, Charles, the TMW family, for having me today and giving me a platform to speak and share my testimony. Definitely want to give all the kudos to my family in Detroit. And I say my family in Detroit, meaning anybody who invested in me. To the D7 community who's been investing in my family, sowing good education into my family, to the community members who voted for me, thank you so much. In times I didn't believe in myself, but any type of support helps to build that.
Yes, indeed.
Definitely want to give all thanks to God for allowing me to serve in my calling. You can follow me on Facebook. So my Facebook name is just my name, Latanya Gator. I also have the Community Cultural Relations Commission Facebook page. It's a really long name, so I
Yes,
have to get it right.
it's Dearborn Heights.
Yeah, Dearborn Heights Community Cultural Relations Commission. You can find that on Facebook as well. Doing some great things in the city. As these gentlemen said, the city is becoming more diverse. So along with Nathaniel Can breaking in barriers, we have Leslie Winless. We have Muhammad Beydoun.
Okay.
We have Lisa Hicks Clayton.
Oh, yes.
I
love
we have
some
our
Lisa.
new we
I
have
love
our
me
new
some
mayor,
Lisa.
Bill Bozzi.
Yeah.
So the diversity is happening, and it's not just through me. I'm just a seed who was planted, who's ready to bloom.
That's
So
what's up.
ready to get to work with everybody who wants to put hands on deck.
That's
Thank you,
what's up.
everybody.
Let me, before we go, what about those who didn't vote for you? What do you say to those who, are they allowed to reach out to you?
Oh yeah, I can make a believer out of you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
When it's time
Nice.
for me to run again, I'm gonna be better than I am when I did it in
There you
November.
go.
Because I'm really in it to make change.
That's
So yeah, I'll make a believer out of you.
That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up. Well, to TK, we hope that you feel better next time. So you'll be on the show that way you get here to ask these questions because you know she's a millennial young lady,
I am a millennial.
and she wanted to ask you some questions and stuff too. So she regret that she couldn't be here.
That's right, teacher.
So
Can't
please
wait
get
to
yourself
meet
together, get your butt back here, and you owe us 25 push-ups because you missed this taping.
Only 25?
Only 25. You know she's a girl. We gotta be
I'll do the
nice.
push-ups with you, TK. We're not gonna leave you hanging. That's not how we do.
You're a real one. You are a real one.
Hey.
Oh, that's great.
I gotta
That is
salute her, too.
great. That is great.
So to everyone out there, thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode. This is our live recording. We will be dropping another show next Saturday. Now, what's interesting about this show next Saturday? We have a, should I say it?
Yeah, but why not? Why not? I mean, go on
Okay.
and say slowly.
We have a sex therapist,
Oh, coach. Sex
sex
coach.
coach, therapist,
Sex
coach, yeah,
Well,
from out of the Bay Area, California. She will be on talking to us and giving Charles some advice on how to be a better lover to whatever he deals with.
Make
To
a
Will.
pandemic
To Will.
baby.
To Will.
And make a what
A
payment?
pandemic baby. Speaking as an individual.
I'll put these glasses
You
back
are
on.
good.
Put these glasses back on.
You are
So,
good.
tune into the show
Oh,
next
you are
Saturday with our. You got me speechless.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
no.
everybody.
You are
Tune into the
good.
show. We're going to have the sex coach
Yes.
on, and she has a lot of insights on some things. So please join us then. Again, thank you. You can follow us on Instagram, okay? Uncle Will _TMW, or subscribe to the channel, Umbrella Entertainment US. That way you can catch up on all of the previous episodes as well as the new episodes to come. And we will be working with this young lady in the near future because this is a woman to know. So
Aw, thank you.
thank you guys for joining us again. And I say to you, salute, peace.
Deuces.
Bye. Thanks.
That was a good show. Thank you for coming on here.
Hopefully.